Hey, so tell me how y'all feeling right now? Y'all feeling inspired right now? Y'all getting some good game? Some good knowledge? Yeah. You know, look, we had a good panel of entrepreneurs up here. Mr. Multifamily himself, Julian Gordon, dropping a whole heck of a lot of game on you guys, right? You know, there's a lot of different ways to invest, right? And I know a lot of you guys are really, intrigued by some of the things that Julian was saying. And all of those things rang true. I myself have been investing in real estate for a very long time. And I know sometimes it can be scary to take that step, to take that risk, to do it. But I guarantee you it's worth it, because with failure comes growth. So you ain't going to grow at all unless you push yourself. You're going to fall. It's like when you used to learn how to ride your bike and everything like that, right? So, let's just take today and let's not let this just be today. Because this is not over for us. So I want to say this one thing before we really get back into it, right? So I have this utopia vision in my mind that I would love to see. And some of the things, I read a lot of Dr. Claude. I'm a big avid reader, right? So I read a lot of Dr. Claude Anderson, a lot of good things, right? And some of the things that they talk about is group economics. We think we always got to do it by ourselves, right? But we don't, so it's okay. So this vision and this utopia that I always dream about and see, and actually it's not a dream anymore, it's active for me because I'm living it. Julian showed us how we give our money away to other people all the time. Let's start giving that back to ourselves. So this utopia is this, right? There's a southern belt comes down, and most of us migrated from the south to the north and everything, right? But we good old southern people right here, right? So we have from Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, South Carolina, all the way up the eastern seaboard. And if you look at the heat map, that's where most of us congregate. I saw a video the other day, and it showed where most of the prominent black communities and black neighborhoods are. So could you imagine that we had an economy that moved all the way from one side of the United States all the way to the other? You know what I mean? So, they have the thing about, what's that, the Green Book, right? You know what I mean? So we can make that a reality right now. There's a highways that goes all up and down there that we pick certain cities that we make it our city. We make it ours. We start buying up real estate. We start creating businesses, right? So then that's where empowerment comes from. Now, I may touch a little bit of you guys because sometimes we feel that power comes with the vote, but I'm going to take you a little bit deeper, because when you lobby, people come to you, right? So if you look at other communities and things like that, politicians go to their community to talk to them to see how they can get their vote. Are they doing that with us? Not really. And when they do, we give our vote away, right? But what we can start doing is once we establish a very strong and viable economic system, then we have power to make changes, to make choices for us. So I just want y'all to think about that for a little bit. So go buy you some real estate. Go start a business, right? Go spend with somebody else that looks like you. And start being creators, because that's what we are. We create all the time. We create some damn good-ass music. We got some damn good-ass fashion. Y'all see me right now? Y'all see me right now? Yeah. Now, I had to just get that off my chest for a minute. So let's keep this thing moving along, man. Right? So earlier, the men, and it's good to see men up here, with that passion and uplifting and giving that support to our black women, right? Because I'm going to say it, sometimes it looks like we don't. And guess what? We don't. I hear it a lot. When we gonna show up? When y'all gonna show up? We done showed up for y'all this whole time. Time is no excuse, so we showing up. So we had these men up here saying where their support systems and, the brains and all these things from these strong, black, beautiful women that have their back. And that's the community of love in which we love, which we want, and which we have, right? Or seek. But you have it. You have it inside yourself, and you have it with your families. So with that, this is an asset. Love is an asset, right? Liabilities and assets. Liabilities take out your pocket, out your soul, out your spirit. Assets give. Assets grow, right? So part of all this is the assets of love. So this next segment that we are about to embark upon is the assets of love. So this whole concept came from my dear partner in crime, partner in life right now, love of the deaf. It's Tammy Denmark. And so all that out there, that where you're going to get your food and the vendors and everything, is called Bella's Lounge. And so Bella's Lounge was created from her brain thrust because she always felt that she wanted to create a space for women to come, a safe space to empower yourselves, And I was like, well, where the guys at? Where we at? How come we can't be in there? But she said, not right now. So one of the things I wanted to get into and introduce is this next segment called Assets of Love. And here to get us into this segment is Miss Tammy Denmark. Roll it. All right. Yeah.
This is a public service announcement.
Hey.
Sponsored by Just Blaze.
Come on up here.
Rockefeller Records.
My partner in crime right here.
Fellow Americans.
Yes. Miss Tammy Denmark. Let's get it.
Testament and recollection.
I always wanted to do that. Beyonce don't know it, but that's my husband. I've been in love with that man since 1993, when he ain't have nothing. She didn't even know him. So, I'm so excited, y'all. This has been a brainchild of mine for a long time. And the Bobbies don't even know this, but I was sitting in my hotel room in 2021. I had just left Matthew Garland, Rents and Gems, and I was like, one of the things they didn't talk about was the asset of love, collaboration, partnership, relationship. Sometimes when you have the best partner, you can achieve so much more than what you can do on your own. Sometime in our community, we think, oh, I'm independent. I can do this by myself. So I told my partner, I said, let's change that narrative. We're not independent, we're self-sufficient. There's a difference. And it's okay to be self-sufficient, but none of us are independent. God didn't put us on this earth to be alone. So when I thought about that, I said, I want to create something to talk about how these wonderful couples, black couples, come together and make some amazing things happen. So with that, I want to introduce one of my favorite couples. Come on, give it up for Bobby and Bobby Mack. Come on, beautiful. I love it. Sit right here, baby. All right, y'all, we're going to have us a little chit chat. Most of us know them. How many of y'all been to Tater Q to their restaurant? Raise your hand. If you have not gone, I suggest you go, okay, because the food is amazing. So I first want to start off by telling y'all this. So I was talking to Mr. Bobby Mack, and I was like, you know, when we get on stage, we gon' talk, we're gonna freestyle. I just want to have a conversation. And he was like, oh, so we gonna eat. Oh, we gonna eat. So we finna let him have it. So it's important to me to have y'all here, so thank you so much for being here. I just really want to talk about your journey. And Bobby, you touched on a lot of it during the entrepreneurial segment, and you mentioned your beautiful wife several times. So I know a lot of y'all wanted to know who this beautiful woman was that had his back. This is backbone. Yeah. So I want to hear a little bit from your standpoint on your journey to where you guys are today.
Hey, everybody. I'm the other Bobby, i.e. So I first want to say thank you guys for having us in this amazing space, and it's so good to see all your beautiful faces out here. It's a beautiful thing. They said Austin only has 7% black. I think about all of them are here today.
We all here in one room.
Almost all of them. So, journey. Is that what it was?
Yes, journey. Journey. We're on a journey.
The journey. My standpoint in the journey? Yes. Okay. Really and truly, guys, like the other Bobby, he gives me a lot of credit, but he's such a hard worker. Like, he is dedicated, and I've just watched this man be so consistent in his work, and whatever he puts his mind to, like, he's meticulous. He wants to perfect it, and he just does not give up. And I saw him day after day go in, and he was great in his career as a welder. He went to school 5 years for that, because they deal with, like, gases, and, you know, he'd be up 40 feet in the air, like, on rafters. It was crazy. I was like, don't ever call me that high up in the air again. But I saw his dedication. And so when jobs would end, he always had a saying, every day I'm working myself out of a job, because when those projects were complete, he was off to the next place. And sometimes it'd be gaps of him working. Right. And so I called it feast or famine, because when he was working, it was rolling in.
Feast, yeah.
Yes, and so budgeting was, you had to budget. And so just seeing his work ethic, I was like, man, and then how much he motivates people and all the things. I was like, you could do something for yourself, you know, because he would just get so frustrated with the layoffs. And so that kind of that's really what it was. We just turned our pain into his purpose and saw what he could.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So what is it like? So the whole assets of love, because we know love is an asset. Relationships, collaboration, friendships, all that is an asset. So what is it like to be in business together and deal with all the ins and outs and all the craziness, and then go home and love on each other? What does that look like?
It's a real challenge.
The real.
Give us
we're not gonna sit up here and make cookies and ice cream like this. It's really a challenge. You got two ones, and ones are leaders, and then we coming together to try to be one, okay? But we was through Christ. But I mean, in business, everything changes, okay? So it's her, then it's me, and then it's the truth. Right. And we trying to get to that. She got her way, her looking at it, then I got my way. And it was a challenge, and it hasn't been a challenge in the last years, because what happened was I had to go to God. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had to get on my knees. I had to pray a lot. I had to put my ego to a side, because I look at ego as edging God out. And so, and with that being said, when I did that, I started finding her love language in the business. Find the love language in the business with your spouse. If you don't, you're gonna run up on that wall every time. And you're not gonna be able to understand it. You're like, wow, why? She can't hear me. I'm trying to say, it's the love language that we are not seeing as men, because you know how certain men can be, but she's just as alpha female herself. So, like I said, it was just a journey with that going on. But once I found that love language, a lot of it, you know what I mean, it helped out so much with everything, because we stopped going against it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Y'all start going together.
We start going together, just like our marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
and it can be tough for some people, because a lot of people don't want to lay that down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And sometimes she'll just do a check. This business, we ain't married. No, man, we
Look, hold
always
on,
married.
disclaimer. We about to talk about business. It might not be pretty today. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, so it was a lot to that.
So what advice would y'all both, just real quick, because we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
What advice would y'all give to couples who are thinking about going into a partnership or business together? What obstacles did y'all encounter that you've kind of overcome now, that you would tell them, don't do this, or probably should think to do this
You want me
first?
to go first?
Yeah, you can go, babe. I'll spin.
Initially, okay. You gonna spin the block?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me tell you, the obstacles, okay, we're gonna keep it all the way 100 in here today.
Gonna keep it 100.
Yeah.
There are gonna be obstacles. I quit working with him probably 10 or 12 times. I fired myself, okay? And it wasn't, the words I used were not, they weren't, if we worked for a corporation, HR would've came for me, okay?
Would have been written up.
I mean, there's nights when you're up late, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., you're researching products. We've had multiple businesses with each other, and it's spawned since then. So I'd say start small and then work your way up, just to kind of work those kinks out, because of course there's going to be new challenges in any venture, but starting small helps you to understand how each other communicates. So start with small projects, get mentors. That's what I can say. Initially, when we first started in business, we've been together since 2006. Internet, it wasn't a lot out here as far as coaching and things like that. So a lot of things we learned was a lot of trial and error. But now there are YouTube videos and so much. So I'd say any niche that you want to get into, or whatever type of business you want to start, get a mentor. So that'll help with a lot of that, the trial and error, the mental anguish, and it might help some of those fights not be as bad, because you're actually taking information in from other sources, not just your own opinion or your emotion, or how you feel. So yeah.
Bobby?
And just like I said before, fellas, ego, put it to the side. Take your feelings out of it at a certain point. Like I tell my staff, take your feelings and emotions out of this, and let's look at the goal. The goal is where we're trying to be and where we're going. So let's take the feelings out of this. And it's hard, man. I'm telling y'all, it's a challenging thing if you're not rooted in the Word of God. If you're not rooted, you're going to have a lot of problems.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't go to bed mad. God is definitely our base.
Yes.
So he might go upstairs and I'll be like, all right, I'll see you in 2 hours. He'll cool off and we'll get back together. So yeah, just keeping God as the foundation has definitely played a major part in us being able to work together.
And just work through it. Really, it's going to happen because I'm going to go here with y'all because I have to. It was meant to be. When you got married, it was meant to be.
Come on now.
It was meant to be. But you guys can't lose that. What is meant is what to be. Just like, and he really, he put us together for this prosperity and to grow in this life together and show our families and friends and everybody else around us that it could be done, because it can. You just got to keep your heart into the game and just don't change up on her, your kids, and the family. Keep all of that. Try to keep some of this stuff. A man, we hold a lot of stuff in. She gonna let it out. Women let it out. We keep it in. And she gonna let it out, but we still gotta stay strong and understand that we got kids in this game, and then we got people watching us as well. So we are the walking billboard, and everybody is watching. So we always gotta hold ourselves up high and just give all the glory to God, man.
Amen. Come on. Give it up for the Bobbies, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming. We're going to go ahead and, my feet hurt. Thank y'all so much for coming. Yeah, cool. Give it up for the Bobbies again, please.
And, I'm going to do a plug real quick. Tater Q, if nobody's following Tater Q, y'all go follow Tater Q. TATER_QUE. Look at all that great food
there you
up
go.
there.
Boom. Sorry. Okay, we ready for our next segment? He was trying to take the mic out my hands, and I was like, no. Y'all done gave it to me now. And I ain't heard my Jay-Z music get cued yet for me to leave, so I'm going to stay here until my music get cued. So no, I'm just joking. Here you go.
All right. Hey, y'all give it up. Excuse me, man. Y'all give it up for Assets of Love, Bella's Lounge, Tammy Denmark. Man, ain't love grand? Ain't love grand. Hey, check it. You know, I can't stay up here long this time because they say I get a little long-winded. So we just going to roll right into it. So, hey, we are excited, elated, because it's about to go down. This is one of our keynote speakers. We're about to come up here and drop some good games, some good knowledge. So y'all get y'all pens out right now. Get your phones together, your iPads, and all of that, right?
Our first and foremost goal is to help people achieve their real estate goals and being their go-to source, because real estate wasn't taught in our communities growing up. Half of the people that we all follow and we buy their music, they have no clue about real estate and financing at that. So I just want to be able to provide that information, give them the real information, and ultimately help them get to the closing table, and that's going to help them build wealth.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
I want y'all to give a great, warm
Nah, y'all hold on. Y'all too quiet for me. I'm tired as hell. I've been in 3 cities in 4 days. I said, what's up, y'all? All right, wake the fuck up. Thank you. All right, parental discretion is advised. Any children and people who got sensitive ears, I apologize ahead of time. All right, show is yours.
Hey, no, man,
Let's
it's good. It's good. You know what I mean? Again, come on, man. Let's give it up. It's Matthew Gardner right here. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, check it, man. I've been following you guys, yourself specifically, for a little while now, man. And it was really happened over, the COVID time, because, a lot of us was just in the house, you know what I mean, and things like that, and just had a time on our hands, and so I started, following this channel, you know what I mean, listening to some of the things that you were saying, a lot of things you were mentioning in regards to mortgages and things like that, right? So before we kind of jump into a lot of it, though, just tell the people a little bit about, who you are, you know what I mean, what got you into, the businesses that you're into today, you know what I'm saying, real estate, mortgages, and all those different things, and tell us a little bit about other things you may have going on. So I just want to let the people, get that little bit of peek into your life for a second.
We could be here all day talking about my life. Where do I start? What got me into real estate? I was broke 20 years ago, right after 9/11, actually. I started working for TSA when TSA first came around, and I got laid off because of budget cuts, right? And I'm from New York. I'm from Queens. Queens get the money. And my best friend, he said, yo, I'm stressed out, right? I'm stressed out. And he's like, yo, why don't you go be a loan officer? I'm like, a loan officer? What the hell is that? He said, when people needed to buy a house, they go to the bank to get a mortgage. I'm like, what's a mortgage? Right? He's like, it's a loan, fool. I said, oh, I never knew that. So he was like, my man, Little Ant, he's in North Carolina. He was like, he's doing it. He's making 6 figures. Now, mind you, this is 2003. So 6 figures in 2003 was like $1 million today, especially in your 20s. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, if he can do it, shit, I know I can do it. So I looked in the paper. So this is, all right, I'm going to show my age a little bit too. This is before you had LinkedIn and all this technology. You actually had to look in the paper to find a job. Right?
Yeah.
I still had AOL dial-up. You know what I'm saying? So I looked in the paper, and at this time I was always doing like customer service jobs, sales jobs. So I will always overlook the mortgage jobs because I thought you needed a degree. I'm a college dropout. So I saw that they had all these loan officer positions. So I called up 3 companies and went on 3 interviews, and I got hired by all 3 of them. And at that time, I just picked the best one I thought was best for me at that time. They offered training. I was making $9 an hour or $10 an hour at this time for 6 weeks, 40 hours before I got on the phone or anything, and they taught us mortgages. So that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. So just getting that training at first, and I didn't look back ever since, and I've been in the business ever since 2003. So that's what got me into the business. So I got into the business at the height of the wild cowboy days when you needed a post to get a loan. You didn't need good credit. You didn't need no bank statements. You didn't need no W-2s. Shit, you didn't even need a job. Right. We're going to get you a loan. And I got you all the loans, right? I'm part of the reason the market crashed. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Oh, it's because of you, right?
Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you up. You ever seen what's that one? The Big Short?
Yeah, Big Short. Yeah.
You saw when they was running around and they saw the mortgage brokers in Florida and they was at the bar chilling and we getting all the strippers' loans? Yeah. Well, that was me. Right? Just the black version. But yeah, it was the wild cowboy days, and I haven't looked back since. So I've been in the business 20 years now.
Wow, man, that's a blessing. So really, man, you just started off no experience, no nothing, huh?
Nah, I didn't know what a mortgage was. Like, I didn't even know what a loan officer was. I was like, yo, bro, you want me to be a cop? Like, what you talking about?
Right,
nigga?
What is that?
I'm from the hood, man. I ain't even no cop.
Oh, really?
Like, what you talking about? So, I had no experience. I didn't know what a mortgage was. My first year, like, and the crazy thing, I told this story on a podcast recently. I was like, yo, my first 6 months, I had 5 different jobs in the mortgage industry because I just kept on firing the jobs. Because, no, seriously, I was firing them because they were trying to pay me peanuts. I didn't close a deal. I just went on the first, so that first job after I did the training, I went on the sales floor. So within the first week, I discovered I'm getting jerked. I'm making 30%, and these fools, if they close a loan, they making 50 to 75. So I went to the manager like, yo, why am I getting 30, 35%, and they getting 50 to 75? I need at least 50%. Yeah. He said, you ain't closed a deal yet. I said, but I am. So when I do, I need my money.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, it don't work like that. I said, all right, deuces, I'm out. I'm going to go somewhere else. And I did that until I got 75% of my business. I didn't close a deal yet, but I knew my worth.
So let's just take a pause on that for
gem.
a second, right? We're going to come back to that worth thing, right? But kind of break down a little bit about, the mortgage business itself, because, there's a lot of people out here in real estate, right? And, earlier, Julian showed a lot of different, columns of things that you can do. And, one of those things, on there is, being a mortgage broker and things like that. So kind of break that down a little bit and kind of tell the people, what exactly is that? How are you making your money? What is 75% of what, right? What is that?
The golden question.
Yeah.
So, how can I say this? The mortgage business is extremely lucrative if you know what you're doing. It's just like being a real estate agent, right? So before the crash, it wasn't regulated. So I could make 5, 6, 7% on a deal. And I'm based in New York. Even back then, deals are 400,000, 500,000, you do the math. So when the market crashed, they over-regulated us. So now we can't make astronomical percentages like that. We're capped really around 3.5%. But if you're doing volume, and my business is all about volume. Volume solves all problems, right? So I'm not looking at one deal, 2 deals. I'm looking at 30 deals, 40 deals, 50 deals. I'm looking at volume. So I'm not looking to close, and no disrespect to my realtors, but, I'm not posting my closings because I'm not happy. Job not done, right? People post their closings, and I understand